do something a bit different today, cleaning your PCP Air Rifles. Some of our American fans may not come across these too often. This is my Air Arms S310, pre-charged pneumatic. The cylinder under here is pumped up with air, and as you cock it, you pull the bolt, close it, fire, it spits out air. It is empty, I've already checked this, but first thing to do of course is to check it. Open the bolt, magazine out, you see it's clear. You can't really see very easily in there, but I can show you that it's clear. The thing to bear in mind with these, when you've opened the bolt, you've actually engaged the trigger. So unlike a conventional powder burning rifle, strictly speaking, having the bolt open doesn't render it safe. But really, you know, as I said, it's only going to spit out a bit of air, it's not going to spit out any pellets, so it's, you know, it's not much of a problem. This actually doesn't have a safety catch either, so you do need to be a bit mindful. Anyway, what I wanted to address was really today cleaning the barrel. Cleaning a barrel on an air rifle is a completely different thing really to a powder burner, because there's no powder to clean out, and a lot of people use cleaning rods. Now, you can use cleaning rods on a brake barrel, you know, break the barrel, you've got the breech end, you can shove the thing down, clean it. The trouble is it's a little bit more abrasive than you need it to be, because you're only trying to clear the lead that's coating the inside of the barrel out. And also, if you've got a pre-charged pneumatic like this one, you can see, unlike a conventional rifle, you can't remove this bolt. If I can bring up close to the camera, I don't know quite how well you can see that, but basically, this bolt's not going anywhere, and this breech here, you know, it's pretty inaccessible. I mean, there's no way of getting a rod down there at all. So, what you need to do is use a pull-through. What some people try and do is shove a cleaning rod down from this end. Now, you can get away with it, to be honest. I have done it myself on occasion. Well, I didn't really know what I was doing. But the danger you run into if you do that is it's possible to damage the crown of the barrel, which gives the last twist, the last spin to the pellet as it's coming out of the barrel. So if you accidentally, you're a bit rough or something with your cleaning rod, you damage that, you basically just ruined your gun for good. Well, for good, you know, until you've replaced the barrel anyway. So I'm going to show you today how I clean my air gun. I generally use Napier products. I find them very good quality. I've got Napier Slip, I've got all my shotgun cleaning kits Napier. I do like Napier. It also has the VP90 corrosion inhibitor, as they call it, which is this patented thing which allegedly stops any kind of corrosion. So, I open my kit. I've got a few things in here. It's a rag, which I must admit I've added. Again, Allen keys, which I've added. But this is what the kit generally comes with. You've got a pull through here. Again, actually I've added that. That's for keeping the lens of my scope. You've got pellet gun, Napier pellet gun oil, and some patches. So the best way to start is to clean the barrel. When I actually clean the rest of the gun, I'll take the action actually out of the stock. I've already taken the sling off, but to start with, let's do the barrel. So I'll clear this out of the way so you can see what I'm doing. First things first, what I find easiest is to remove the silencer. Now on this rifle, there's a grub screw just here, and I've just got to loosen it, and it will slide off. Again, this is something else that, wrong size. This is one of the things that we can get quite easily in the UK that our American friends can't, which is the silencer. Now just loosen that. That will now come off. We can get these here, guys. I have no idea what you'll stop from getting these, considering you can buy pretty much any gun you like, but there you go. That's off. So yeah, it's a lot louder now. bear in mind, and you see how easily I did that without thinking. Actually, it was intentional, just to show you. It's a very loud bang without the silencer on. Again, be mindful of this when you're cleaning. As I'm going to be doing the barrel, I'm going to have to cock it so I can access the breech. Now the first thing to do, what I like to do anyway, is get your oily rag, stick it down in the breech. This is just so when I spray it, it's not going to go all into the action. PCP rifles aren't like other conventional rifles in the sense that they've got O-rings and things that can get corroded and there's compressed air, so you've got to be careful. Just get a load of this, spray it down the barrel. Good, you know, get a bit of good spray. I'm going to take that out now. Let that sit there for a minute. Check there's enough there. I think there will be. Now, the reason I'm doing this is because I'm getting some issues with accuracy with my rifle. And if I'm completely honest, the reason is because the bolt isn't as smooth as it once was, and it needs servicing. I'm actually going to get it blueprinted from a guy who's quite local to me, so it's going to be mint when it's done. But for now, it doesn't always feed pellets brilliantly, and consequently, it's very pellet fussy, and what pellets it does fire, it leads up after a while, and if it leads up too much with this gun, it loses accuracy, which is what's happening at the moment. So this is why I'm cleaning it. This is the pull-through you get through the Napier kit. It's all just like plastic. It's got a little bit of brass on the end here, but again, brass softer than steel, so it's not going to hurt the gun. You just need to thread this down the barrel. Get it to go in until it points out here. You can see the loop. Now I'm going to get some patches. Now, because this is a 22 caliber, I need 3. 1, 2, 3. So put these through that loop, like that. No oils, because obviously there's oil down the barrel already. It's like that. Pull gently until it starts going down the barrel. Now you'll hear it squeak in a minute. Hear that? That's pulling the lead out. Now basically, you just keep repeating this until it's more or less clean. You can see now the top patch is quite dirty. Now what I generally do is get rid of that, keep the other 2, because to be honest, it doesn't really matter about those. You just need one that's reasonably clean. So I've got 3 again. Feed it down the barrel again. Again, the end bit of the pull through is brass, which is fairly soft, but you know, it's still a good idea to be fairly careful as you're sort of pulling it out at the final end, because you know, in theory you might hurt it, so just be careful. Again, put it through. Again, like that. Then you pull it through. Just a little bit leaded up, nearly done though, to be honest. It's probably one more. Again, pressure on the top, pull through down here. Loop again. It's ready to pull through. See, it's not squeaking so much now because it's cleaner, I think. Yeah, now, you can see from the last one, there's pretty much no lead left at all now. In fact, no, there isn't. Bring up to the camera. See the last one? Pretty much clean now. So that's the barrel done. Now, again, what people generally will advise is to be honest, you probably should never clean your barrel if you don't use it with an air gun. There's no powder that's going to build up, just lead. And until you find there's accuracy issues, there's no point really doing it. But like I said with mine, it's a bit of a different issue. I do need to do it now and again. But that's that done now. So I'm going to close it. And for the time being, just so I don't keep annoying the neighbours, I'm going to put the silencer back on, because I don't need that off now. Dropping everything. Just tighten that up. When you're tightening these things up, you need to do it fairly tight. You don't want it coming off, but at the same time, don't ever do it too tight, because there's no point, you'll potentially damage it, so be mindful of that. Now, the next thing to do, because I want to show you how to do it thoroughly, is I'm going to take first I need to discharge it now, because obviously I have to charge it to clean the barrel. So it's a lot less loud than it is without the silencer, which is why I put it back on. Allen key in the bottom of the rifle, in my rifle, there's a screw there and a screw there, so I need to take those out if I can. Again, when you're putting these back in, which I'll go through again in a bit, but don't do them too tightly. If you do them too tightly, you can cause the action to sort of flex, and over time things can break. Again, you've got to remember, these aren't, this isn't like with a conventional rifle where you can be relatively rough with it. This is quite a complicated machine, if I'm honest. These have to be serviced like every year, preferably. There's something you need to be a bit more careful with. But if you look after them, they'll last for many years. I mean, I've had this about, 15 years, maybe a bit longer. So, loosen the screws, take those out. That's taken out as well. Now I can take the action out of the stock carefully. So that's all it is. Not much to it there, really, is there? You can see the cylinder on the bottom here. That's where you would connect your diver's tank to. I've already charged this up. If you look at one of my previous videos, I have gone into that. Now, I'll move this stock out of the way for a moment so you can see. Now I've done that, I was going to give it a bit of a wipe down really. You don't have to go mad. Never over oil. Although again, one of the good things about using napier oil, which I've been assured of, is for my shotgun, which is what I was concerned about, is that it doesn't harm wood, apparently. I don't really want to put that to the test though, so you don't want to go mad. Again, oil. Again, unlike with the conventional rifle, don't ever spray oil onto the gun itself. It's got O-rings, it's got things that can corrode and wear away. You don't want that. So get your rag, spray a fair bit on it. Oh, one other thing, I've got flip-up caps on my scope, but if you've got covers, make sure you put them on, because there's nothing more annoying than getting oil on your scope. So I'm going to hold the scope while I do this, because it doesn't really matter, to be honest, when I'm cleaning it. I'm just going to give it a bit of a wipe. Again, like I said, I'm not going to go mad, because it's not that dirty, but it's good just to get a nice layer of oil on it. Now you notice this has moved. It's actually, the barrel's floating and it's fixed, so it's not going to go anywhere, so it's not too much of a concern. I can move that back down a bit when I put it back on the stock. Again, just general wipe down all over. I'm actually going to cock the bolt again now, just so I can get inside the breech. Just give that a bit of a wipe, because there'll be a bit of excess oil in there from where I did the barrel. Give the bolt a bit of a wipe as well. That is pretty much it, to be honest. I mean, what I sometimes do is thread in between the barrel and the air cylinder like that, just so I can get any dust that's got caught under there out. But that is pretty much done now. I'm going to move that carefully back into position. Luckily you can see where to, because the bluing has slightly come off where when it goes in. Right, close the bolt. Again, safety first. That's discharged again. Now this is ready to put the stock back on. Let's get the stock. Just over like that. You should find it fits pretty well. Okay. Now, don't worry about getting fingerprints on it on the top while you're doing this, because that's going to happen, and you can give it a quick wipe down when you're finished, so it doesn't really matter. So I'm just putting that in loosely now. Just while I do it, I'll go and put them on, put the Allen keys away. Don't want to do that. I think it's that one. I think. No. Slightly bigger. So yeah. Tighten it up. Again, like I said, don't, whatever you do this too tight, just so it's tight enough. Your stock's not going to fall off. It's not, you don't have to be paranoid about it. You're much more likely to damage the gun if you do do it too tight. So just until it feels like it's snug. This is actually the main one, really. The front ones, in fact, most rifles nowadays, they don't bother putting a screw on the front, just one on the bottom. So this is the main one to be concerned about. You can see that's pretty tight now. See, that's plenty tight. Again on this side. Tight as well. Again, there we are. Give it a quick wipe over. Now, what you might want to do, don't know what you need to do, but what you've been doing really and how dirty it is give the scope a bit of a wipe down. What I would suggest doing, I won't do this myself now because I've got slightly oily hands. You could wear gloves, I suppose. But this, lint-free cloth, open up both ends, just give it a wipe. Best not to do it when you've got oily hands though, because you'll just get oil all over it, so avoid that. The mag, again completely empty, generally keep it in the gun just so I don't lose it. Cock it again, slide that back in the breech, close it. Job's good, all done. Now, I hope you guys like this. I thought we'd just do a few instructional things because, you know, people find it useful, don't they, really? I mean, I know Tom was like saying this was a boring video to do, but actually I think, you know, there are people out there genuinely don't know the best way to clean these rifles. I must admit, I didn't when I first got it, so it's always good to sort of help the community and things. If you do like it, I might do a video on how I clean my shotguns as well, so keep watching. I've got my head cam now, so I know Nick was asking me about that, you know who you are. It's come, but unfortunately it's the sound seems to be knackered. I don't know what it is, but literally, unless you're like that, that far away from the mic when you're talking into it, it doesn't really pick it up. So, as far as I can gather, other people don't do this. So, I'm probably going to send it back. I've emailed the manufacturer just to see if there's anything I can do, but it looks like I need a new one. When I do have it, it will fit. It's like a little torch about that long. Yeah, that's what it looks like anyway. I'll have it mounted to my head for when I'm shotgun shooting, and for when I'm airgun shooting. I've actually got a mount already, like a rubber mount, which goes on the scope for attaching a torch. So I can attach this camera to there, and it should sort of view whatever the scope's looking at. So there should be some quite good, exciting videos to come. So yeah, keep watching. I'm going pigeon shooting on Sunday, I think, in the morning. I need to find a different spot, to be honest, because I didn't have much luck yesterday, but you know, that's the way it goes. So yeah, I'll have a great new video for you soon. So as always, like and subscribe.